All right, we have kind of a weird one between Trader Bird. Yeah, this is Butcher Bird, I think. Yeah, I think it is that or Trader GG. I forget who he's fighting. I think it's Bird. Anyway, and DBD's Lenorm, also known as Self-Requested Cockatoo. We have Skaven versus Ogres. My opinion, a very fun matchup because Skaven have a lot of anti-large, a lot of shooting, things Ogres hate. But Skaven also have low leadership, and the Ogres can rout them, charging up their army passive, and the Ogres generally aren't that sad to fight Skaven, so it's a matchup both sides enjoy. For the Skaven build, we do have Ikit's Zap Zap Cannon, two Warplock Jezzails, double Eshin Triad, one of which is the RR Ixcha's Triad. Ixcha's Triad's over there. Then we have the Council Guard, Stormburn with Halberds, a couple Rat Ogres, Ikit Claw with Flensing Ruin, and Brass Orb. And then a bunch of Clan Rats with Spears. And that's about it. A couple Skaven Slaves around, I think, too, right? Yeah, there. Skaven Slave Spears. Overall, quite solid. For the Ogres, we do have a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw with Troll Guts and Bone Crusher. We have double Gnoblar Scrap Launcher. We have triple Lead Belcher. Two Lead Belchers. Two Lead Belchers, two Scrap Launchers, a bunch of Gnoblars and Gnoblar Trappers, some Ogre Bulls, some Saber-Tusk Packs. Yeah. Nothing too elite that the Skaven can focus fire down. Overall, it's fine. I really don't believe in Gnoblar Scrap Launchers, especially in this matchup. Skaven don't have anything they really care if you bombard, and they usually have spread out formations. So, I don't know. I don't love them, but I know a lot of Ogre players who do. Oh, there's an Iron Blaster. There you are. There is an Iron Blaster off in the trees, and currently he is taking a little bit of damage, but the Jezzails are trying to fire through the woods, and it's really not working out for them, though. That goes both ways, and out of the Iron Blaster's 3 shots in a volley, only 1 actually makes it through the trees. So trees fucking with both sides a little bit here. Things are spreading out. Zap Zap's still trying to get some shots off, but again, everything hits a tree. Oof. Clan Rats lining up to face down Gnoblars. It's not exactly the most epic of confrontations. As again, both sides are just chucking out volleys to nowhere. Ixcha's Triads is going to get up here with their concealment bombs, get right on top of the Iron Blaster, and start to land some big hits onto him, especially with shredding its armor down to from 90 to 45. Big damage. It looks like the Iron Blaster has not yet realized it's in danger and is going to pull away. Now, thankfully for the Ogres, they do have Troll Guts, a really good spell to heal up this Iron Blaster, and should be able to outrun the Triads, but they'll certainly be a nuisance as the Lead Belchers are going to try and turn and help out. And miss like every fucking shot. Okay, alright, Lead Belchers, you pieces of garbage. You pieces of garbage! Skaven Warplock Jezzails are starting to fall back from the front line a little bit as Claw and Rat Ogres do some peeling for them. But it looks like the melee is getting engaged for both sides because both sides are hitting a bunch of trees and getting real tired of that. Ixcha's Triads getting hit by Ogre Bulls and Gnoblars and Lead Belchers. They rout off the Iron Blaster real quick, but then they themselves will be pushed off. Meanwhile, Clan Rats holding the front line okay. They will get pushed away now. Ixcha's Triads fighting Ogre Bulls, but this isn't as good of a trade as you would think. Eshin Triads in general have bad armor, not amazing melee stats. And their armor sundering is not that effective versus Ogres. You can see they're only taking off 15 armor from those bulls. So they won't trade cost effectively into Ogre Bulls, especially if they get charged. Iron Blaster is back. Lead Belchers and Scrap Launchers falling back. On the other side, Lead Belchers are healthy. Scrap Launchers up there, but it's obstructed. So, yeah. The Skaven shooting teams have not been able to get too much done because of all the trees. Though, as I say that, really big shot onto the Scrap Launcher from Ikit Zap Zap, so nice job there. Gnoblar is pushing through the front line, harassing the Skaven backline. The Council Guard are going to have to step up and get a little more involved, as Ikit is also trying to peel things off. Skaven are in a slight balance of power advantage, but I'm getting very concerned about their lack of front line at this point. Gnoblar Trappers very quickly routed off by Ikit Claw. And other basic Gnoblars are now charging the Council Guard, which they will not have a good time doing. Saber-Tusk Packs now starting to move up. I'm surprised they've been so passive. You'd think that you'd want them to be much more aggressive at getting onto the Jezzails, getting onto Warp Lightning Cannons, etc., etc. Yeah. There's a Bone Crusher getting cast onto the Count's Guard. That is a really nice cast, but decent dodge from the Skaven. Not quite fast enough as they do get caught in it a little bit, still taking about a quarter of their HP, but better to dodge it than not. So we still have 2 scrap launchers with a lot of ammunition, though one is almost dead. We have an Iron Blaster with a lot of ammunition, though it's almost dead. 2 Lead Belchers with a lot of ammunition, though they haven't been able to really leverage that. So the Ogre ranged assets are all quite healthy. The Ogre frontline has been taking a beating, and the Saber Tusks are still very, very healthy. As for the Skaven, It Gets Zap Zap is healthy, though it's running low on ammunition. Council Guard are healthy. It Gets very healthy. It looks like we have some Skaven slaves and clan rats over here, but generally the Skaven frontline is in mass tatters. Saber Tusk packs, taking too much damage, attacked on all sides, are actually going to get pushed off, but they do entirely kill a Jezzail team on their way out, as other Jezzails in the trees are firing out onto them. More Gnawblar Trappers. Chucking up, and away at the Eshin Triads. Rat Ogre's running away from Ogre Bulls. Another Bone Crusher attempt, but the Storm Vermin are going to see it coming and run away, taking no damage in the trade. One thing I worry about for the Skaven a little bit here is if it gets Zap Zap and the Warplock Jezzails run out of ammunition, then the Ogres can pull up these Iron Blasters and Lead Belchers and just shoot them to death. So there's very little the Skaven can do to catch out those things. Yeah. Curious. Skaven are slightly behind on the bounce power, I would tend to agree. Ogre Bulls fighting Eshin Triads and Rat Ogres, they will lose that fight slowly over time. And it's tricky, man. It's tricky, because the Council Guard want to protect It Gets Zap Zap, but they also don't want to just get shot for free by Lead Belchers and stuff. I don't know, Skaven are in dire straits. I don't know what Iket's going to do. It's going to have to go do something. Saber Tusk packs, looks like they're diving the Warplock Jezzail teams, which is pretty smart. Brass Orb is going to try and block them up. And a Rat Ogre countercharge, plus Iket, should actually do okay at protecting the Warplock Jezzails, though those little hungry tigers are still going to try and get a couple little models, maybe get the Warplock Jezzails to rout again. Iket Zap Zap still firing at that scrap launcher way back in the trees. But he might want to focus on the Iron Blaster now that it's moved up closer and receive some healing. Can the Skaven hold on? Saber Tusk pack routes. Iket and the Rat Ogre should be able to hold that down. Warplock Jezzail starting to run away, but we do have some Gnawblar Trappers who rally behind them, getting some decent shots in. Again, these guys are very, very squishy. So even such little small arms fire could do some decent damage, though they do shatter just by looking at the enemy. Sag. Slaughtermaster the Great Maw running forward, maybe going to help out with the Council Guard a little bit. Council Guard are running out of HP, as Lead Belchers are now firing in at last. Iron Blaster still strong on ammunition. Gnawblar Scrap Launcher did shatter in the background, so at last, and the other Gnawblar Scrap Launcher is almost out of ammunition. But these Lead Belchers moving up could be a huge problem. It could Zap Zap days are numbered. Jezzail's also teeing off. Everyone's just trying to get this Iron Blaster real quick before it gets Zap Zap dies. Gnawblar Trappers are pushed off by the Council Guard. I've seen better days. Skaven are getting a second wind on this right side. That melee fight has been going on forever, but they at last started to win it and actually push through. Lead Belchers get caught in melee with the Clan Rat Spears and Iket Claw. They do need to run away. Does not look like they're going to be pulled back in time, and even Rat Ogres coming up behind them are going to take a lot of damage, so these Lead Belchers really need to be moved. That is a bit of a mistake, just leaving them there. Iket Zap Zap's going to fire its last couple shots here. The bounce power moves heavily against the Skaven. Can they hold on? Because that Lead Belcher catch is pretty huge. Iron Blaster fires over, but it's too late. Iket Zap Zap is now just a pathetic melee crew. Skaven advancing on all sides against the Lead Belchers. Lead Belchers getting a Troll Guts, even while they're almost at full HP. That seemed preemptive to deal with the damage that might have been coming their way, but they can actually outrun all of these Skaven forces that are chasing them, so they're not going to take that much damage. Unfortunately, the Troll Guts is going to be wasted. The Gnawblar Scrap Launcher's diving into melee to try and peel as well, and meanwhile, a pretty huge Flensing Ruin, plus a surround onto the Slaughtermaster the Great Maw is getting a lot of damage onto him. That Troll Guts, oh, you hate to see it. It's just not going to get anything done. An Overcast Bone Crusher also misses, dealing Overcast damage to the Slaughtermaster the Great Maw and not hitting anything. A very, very unfortunate series of events there for the Ogres, turning the game right back around. Bounce power is still slightly in the Ogres' favor, but with their Lord routing, you have to think that maybe the Skaven can clutch this out. Rat Ogre's chasing off a whole bunch of stuff. Warplock Jezzail's firing at something. Looks like they're firing at Ogre Bulls. With this Iron Blaster so close to heal capped and almost dead, I wonder if the Jezzails just use all their remaining ammunition out of that or the Lead Belchers. It looks like they will. Rat Ogre's continuing to chase the Slaughtermaster Great Maw, though if the Iron Blast can get one good volley onto them, it could actually rout both units. Got a decent volley onto one. Didn't quite finish him off. It gets running around. No ammunition left on him either. It looks like he's going to go for the Lead Belchers that have just rallied, hoping to rout them yet again, though a Dismember army ability cast onto him makes him ridiculously slow. 29 speed. He ain't catching anything. Lead Belcher's still firing into the slight cluster of Skaven, though he doesn't have a great angle for it. He's up on a hill, so he's firing over their heads a little bit. But a mass rout comes in. Slaughtermaster is going to rally while in the middle of those Rat Ogres. I guess his balance of power was just high enough that he got to overcome them, though I always think that mechanic is a little bit of bullshit. Looks like he might just rout again naturally, as he's now surrounded by Rat Ogres. Getting beat up. And Warplock Jezzails are trying to fire over their Rat Ogre kin, but it's not really working out. Ikit routs Lead Belchers again. A little bit more kite back from the Ogres, and the Council Guard caught up to the Gnawblar Scrap Launcher only to get fucking yeeted by these Lead Belchers. We're just shooting them in the butt. Ah, Council Guard! Good job, Council Guard. Slaughtermaster taking more damage, trying to rout yet again. Ikit takes a nasty shot from the Iron Blaster. We just saw his health get completely chunked out, and he is going to throw down a quick Flensing Ruin that follows the Iron Blaster. He cast it on the model, so it will just follow it around, and that might actually be the end of the Iron Blaster. Slaughtermaster running away. Jezzails do have 4 more volleys. The Skaven should probably give up the chase in the Slaughtermaster and just let the Warplock Jezzails actually kill him, if that's what they're going to do. But right now they're obstructing their own unit's fire, with the Rat Ogres being between them, so it gets a little sticky there. Iron Blaster does shatter. Skaven don't have to worry about it anymore, and Ikit Claw is just going to rout some Gnoblars off. No big deal. Slaughtermaster the Great Maw is dead, and without him, it'll be much more difficult for the Ogres to rally. Council Guard down to 8 models. Still fighting to the very last against Gnoblars and hitting Lead Belchers in the back. Gnawblar Scrap Launcher running around, but for the Skaven, we have a Warplock Jezzail that's almost out of ammunition. Ikit Zap-Zap's crew and Ikit Claw himself very, very injured. Huge volley from the Lead Belchers onto the Ikit Zap-Zap crew, taking them down a size. And Council Guard continue to fire. Not fire, continue to fight. I wonder what the Jezzails will be shooting. We're going to times 2 for a little bit as Ikit Claw is getting chopped at the Lead Belchers. Now he's going to join the fight, and he's even going to throw down a Flensing Ruin onto them, really taking them down. Gnawblar Scrap Launcher looks like it's going to avoid the fight for just a little bit here. As Lead Belchers get pushed off. Bounce power swings massively back into the favor of the Skaven from almost defeat to now, I don't know, 55%. Jezzail's 1 volley left. Gnawblar Scrap Launcher is just a melee chariot at this point. It does have 1 volley left, but it's acting more like a melee chariot. Ikit Claw is going to chase off the Lead Belchers, and the 5 Council Guard still around, still being annoying. Jezzail's shooting the last of their shots into the rather healthy Gnawblar Scrap Launcher. Then they run out. They become a melee unit. It's going to chase them off. Ikit Claw finishes chasing the Lead Belchers, making the balance of power move significantly in their favor. Yet again, Gnawblar Trappers trying to go find a fight with something. 5 Council Guard, Ikit Claw, and a whole bunch of out-of-ammunition weapons teams. Trappers dive in. Trappers get good damage. They shatter off the Ikit's team. They themselves shatter. It's just a Scrap Launcher. Where is it? There it is. It's just a Scrap Launcher versus the world. Now, Ikit, if he has any Flensing Ruins left, this is over. Though I think he's used a lot of them. I don't know if he actually has any left. Oh, he does have 1 left. Is it Overcast or not? Nope, it's not Overcast. I still think that's GG, but Overcast would have been more damning. Scrap Launcher does not manage to fire because of Ogre jankiness. And instead, it now has to dedicate to melee, which Ikit Claw will beat its ass. And the Skaven will win. It was a very close game. Both sides not enjoying the map they were on, though. Ikit, 2,500 value, good for him. Jezzails, overall did fine. Ikit Zap-Zap did well. Triads did well. Ogres did great. Clanrats of Spears did what they had to. Skaven Slaves of Spears did what they had to. Slaughtermaster the Great Maw had some whoopsies, unfortunately. Iron Blaster did fine. Gnawblar Scrap Launchers did okay. Lead Belchers did fine. Ogre Bowls did well-ish. Sabertooth Packs did okay. Nalbar Trappers did honestly quite nicely. And Nalbars did okay. GG. Rawr. Subscribe, yes, yes.